Welcome to a new episode of Showing Up Solo. These days, it's not enough to be a small business owner. You also have to be an online marketing expert, an accountant, a website designer, a content creator, and the list goes on. You know how important marketing is, but if you're spending all your time selling your services, how will you have any time left to actually provide them? That's where Showing Up Solo comes in. Showing Up Solo is a video podcast giving you the ins and outs of online marketing from solopreneurs just like you. Tune in every other Wednesday for easy-to-implement advice, guest experts, and plenty of food analogies. Thanks for tuning in, and now, on to the main episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Showing Up Solo. Today, I am thrilled to be joined by Lyon of Dynamic Online Marketing, social media manager extraordinaire, and former participant of our Setup for Success package. Ashley, I'm so thrilled to have you. How are you today?
I'm good. And actually, you shouldn't say former because I'm still learning so much. It just keeps going. So it's great. It's not former. I'm still current.
Oh, I like to hear that. Well, and the truth is we do keep in touch. Full disclosure, Ashley actually was doing a social media manager program and she came to Nicole and I as an intern and we've just kind of kept her. I've hired her myself.
Straight off.
I've hired her myself for my social media support. So we're not letting her go anytime soon. So Ashley, actually, this brings me to what I'd like to start off with is, could you just, for our audience, let everyone know a little bit about yourself and kind of how you got into, like, how you decided to start a social media management business?
Well, I had my first daughter in 2012. And before that, I was just a waitress I shouldn't say just a waitress, but I was a waitress and I didn't have any college education.
We're just a waitress in a cocktail bar.
And so I was a waitress, didn't really know what I wanted to do. My daughter, they messed up with my EI. And so when she was 8 months old, I was cut off and I had no idea what I was going to do. So I started Day Home. I opened a day home and that's what I was doing for the last 10 years.
Wow.
And it got to that point where I was like, my youngest now is about to finish kindergarten and I needed a plan for myself. And back in 2015, my husband was laid off from his job and he opened up his own welding company. And I did all of his behind the scenes, social media, Google, all of it. And I found kind of my niche, my thing.
Your little zone of genius there.
Yeah. So I found the school that I attended and I was still able to do it where I could work full time and go to school. And that's where I am now. Like I finished school, did Showing Up
Setup for Success.
Was Showing Up Solo. And I'm just trying to build myself up now.
Yeah, well, actually, that's quite brought a really interesting question to mind for me, because you actually went on a social media training course. I haven't actually done that. I've done various courses with various coaches. I've done a copywriting course, a LinkedIn course, another like a social media program with a social media coach, Courtney Miller. She's fabulous.
Yes.
So I've done various, and of course, copywriting with Chantel Davison. I've done various like online courses, but I didn't formally go to school for this. And you went to school for this. Yeah. So I'd actually be interested to know, as someone who went to school with this to start their own business, what made you choose to work with Nicole and I as your marketing coaches?
Well, as you know, Nicole's kids were in my day home. So I was doing that and I would pick her brain. We'd stand at the door for so long chit-chatting and she just gave me so much extra information. Like knowledge that I wasn't being taught in school. School was teaching me to be an employee, to work in the workforce, not for yourself, not to be a solopreneur or entrepreneur. It was all for working for someone else. So that's not what I wanted to do. And so for the entrepreneurial side, this program is exactly what you need. And it's same with Courtney Miller's program. Like all these programs that you took, they're amazing. They're perfect. You get more out of them than you do in school, to be honest.
Well, I think like you just touched on, I think it's because they're designed for people who want to run their own business versus being an employee. That's because it's because like you may know how to do the service, like perform the services that you're offering, but if you're an employee, that's all you need to know. You just have to have a good resume and get a job. But if you are a business owner and you're doing it for yourself, having the delivery, like being able to deliver the service is one thing, but you still have to find the people to deliver them to.
You also have to market. Yeah, you have to know how to market yourself. And that's the hardest part. The things you taught me for email marketing is just, you can't put a price on it.
Really?
Yes.
I'd like to know what are the kind of like mind-blowing moments that you had.
Just the what's the right word? I have it. It's like almost like a pyramid, right? Like the way you start your email, middle of your email, the end of your email. I mean, they teach you this kind of stuff in school too, but not to market yourself, not to sell yourself. You're just sending a professional email, right? So yeah, and the other thing is I found, having done both things, at school, you're just a number. Mm-hmm. With you, this is your livelihood. So you take every single client that you have and you put in your like 110%.
Well, I won't I've always, I said this a couple times, but you don't become a service provider if you don't enjoy helping people, exactly. Right? You obviously enjoy helping people. Otherwise you wouldn't have become a service provider. And I love helping people. It was one of the reasons Nicole and I started Showing Up Solo, was we wanted to help as many people who were us when we started our journey.
Well, and that's exactly it. Like you started out not, what's that saying? You're just saying about fish in a pond. Anyway,
not learning how to fish, not knowing how to fish.
There's something there, but anyways, yeah, it's just, yeah.
So I'm curious, between you starting out and you taking Set Up for Success, what were your biggest concerns with marketing? Like, what were you doing to attract clients before?
Nothing, because I was too busy trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you don't know how, like the insights of platforms, like, you get the basics when you're in school. You get told about WordPress, and you get told, which I hate WordPress.
It's okay. You don't have to put. You do. I don't touch WordPress. I'm a Squarespace.
No. Yes, Squarespace all the way. But yeah, you give so much more insight on, and it's not just reading about it and it's on a piece of paper. I'm actually speaking with you, and you're just like, this is what it is. And sometimes, how many times have you screen shared with me to show me how to do something? So you don't get that.
Yeah, that kind of tailored approach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember when I first started out marketing, before I found all these courses, is I was just consuming a whole bunch of YouTube content and a lot of Instagram content. I was looking at other people on Instagram doing what I wanted to do, and taking their advice and harvesting like them for knowledge. But it's difficult to it can get really overwhelming if you try to do that, right? Like you find, and
well, and I think a lot of people there, I mean, I'm not saying this for everybody, but I think there are some people out there that aren't completely honest about the way they go about doing things.
Yeah. There's like some people who promise these results, and you're like, well,
yes,
that's all well and good, but I don't know.
We just had this conversation not too long ago about that.
Yeah. So,
I guess what were your real goals when you chose to do the setup for success package? Like what were your goals going into it?
Become more efficient. Like my biggest thing before I started this too, of course, not knowing the ins and outs of the entrepreneur, solopreneur side of it. My confidence was pretty much in the gutter. I The thought of hopping on a call just made my stomach turn for days. And what was that? Nicole said I had it. Imposter syndrome.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think if you've been socialized as a woman and an employee for most of your adult life, you can pretty much guarantee you've got imposter syndrome if you're going out on your own. Like,
yeah, it's definitely that. I feel like I still have it a little bit because I can say, I can be told you're doing great, client's happy, and then I'm like, oh, like I
still feel imposter syndrome. I mean, look, like we just said earlier, like you've gone to school for doing what I teach people to do.
That's crazy.
I could let like imposter syndrome like stop me from putting myself out there, but luckily, like I just remind myself of the people I've worked with, like you, who say how helpful it was. And it's the same thing. You've got to take that positive feedback that you're getting from your clients, because it's their money at the end of the day, right? Yes. And you don't give money to people if you don't want to give money to them.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we do, but you know what I mean? Like if it's voluntary to hire someone, you're not going to pay someone.
It's definitely a struggle. And I think that also stems from just, I, for so long didn't know what I was going to do with my life. So I was nervous. I missed the boat, which is super not the case.
Yeah. No, it's really not. There's so much room. Everyone's like worried there's going to run out of opportunities and stuff. And especially like since like the pandemic's pretty much all wrapped up, and everyone wants to be back in the office and no more virtual work, you kind of worry that like, oh, what if this like online industry I've tapped into is disappearing? Yeah. That's not the case, because some changes have just like been so impactful that they're not going anywhere.
Well, and the other thing too is people thinking about taking setup for success is your career, your job does not have to be marketing. Like you can be taking setup success to learn how to market your business that could be making soap.
Yeah.
So it's literally for anybody who's an entrepreneur. You don't just have to. So there's such a wide variety of opportunity for everyone.
Yeah, because what it does is it teaches you how to do your marketing and how to market yourself. And right. It's even if eventually your goal is to hire someone else, like hire someone like you to take over doing it. As a business owner, you need to understand the ins and outs of marketing.
Yeah.
So that you know what you're asking other people to do. Right.
And you probably not getting taken advantage of at the end of the day too.
Exactly. Like you probably experienced this talking to clients now, Ashley. Social media engagement is one of those ones, and like hashtag research. There's one of those ones that clients are always like, oh, do we have to have that? Can we get away with not having that? Because it's not like, you don't see visually. It's not like, oh, here's some captions and here's some graphics. And, it's this kind of invisible work. But I mean, I always say that's the most important part. Like you almost want to, if you want to save money and not produce the content, just go out there and engage. I mean, obviously you want to do both, but the reason that there's so much work to convince clients to do this is because they don't understand how social media works.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a couple clients that I say something and they're like, what is that? Do I need that? I don't know if we need that. I'm like, yes, you kind of do need that. But, they don't know. I mean, that's why they hire me, or they take this course so that they know what to do.
Yeah. So what's on the horizon for you now, Ashley? How are you feeling about your business post Set Up for Success, and where do you see it going now?
Well, I'm still I'm still learning so much. So I'm kind of going at a slower pace because I don't want to take on too much too fast. I'm still learning what my niche is. I'm still learning, scheduling my day a little better so I can, you know what I mean? So I'm eventually, I have planned. It's funny. I actually just saw this. I don't know if it was an Instagram or a TikTok, but it's like when a social media manager does a client like an onboarding call, and then the person you're onboarding with asks about your Instagram, and you just cringe because you're like, I'm putting all my effort into my clients, not myself.
I literally just did a post where it was like, do as I say and not as I do, because I haven't batched my content, and it just took me an hour to write this piece of content because I haven't batched it in so long.
Yeah.
This is why I want you to
get
do
behind. You're done. That's why I said, I was like, I'm dedicating a few hours today just to one thing, because you gotta get caught up. But so I had a laugh because if you look at my business Instagram, it's not very what's the word,
robust.
Yeah.
So that's just a case of sitting down and batching that content and putting it in a scheduler and then getting it on autopilot. I think there's a misconception that you have to like literally be online every day. You really don't. You can show up every day, but by batching it and scheduling in advance.
Yeah. You feel so good too it's almost like that feeling, when all your laundry is done and and all your grocery shopping is done and you just feel at peace.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you get all your content graphics done, put together and put into the scheduler, you just feel like zen.
Yeah. It's like finally getting every single load of laundry, even that like musty duvet cover that's been sat there for 3 months because you couldn't be bothered to wash it. Exactly. It's like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah,
totally. I know. Yeah. And it feels really great. But I don't know if you've had a chance to experience this, but I love it when I see someone go all the way through my funnel and get on a call with me. Like I can see their journey. I can see that they signed up for my freebie and then they got the email sequence and they took the call to action at the end and booked a call. And I can see that journey and I don't know them.
Yeah.
And that feels amazing because I'm like, yes.
Yeah. You feel like you're doing something right. Which is another piece too. That piece you gave me some with the getting, because for what I do, you never think that you're going to offer freebies. I'm not selling anything. I'm offering a service, really. Like that's the way I look at it. So that piece of advice, even though I haven't done it yet, I have, but I haven't implemented it.
Yeah.
It's huge. I didn't learn that anywhere else.
I know it. Again, that's another thing you have to just like pick up. I picked that information up over the past 2 years. Like it's been reinforced, and I learn more and more about building funnels. But yeah, like you don't think about email marketing and you don't think about like a free resource when you're a service-based business, right? Because you're like, well, I'm not making products or digital products or anything. So why do I need this? But it's getting people on that email list. It's so much more effective than getting them and it's so much less time consuming because you can automate so much of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree. Well, I mean, you and Nicole walked so the rest of us could run.
I have to say, like, I'm so pleased to see your website finally up too. That was really good. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's nice to have something people can click on. And when you say head to my link in bio, there's a link in the bio.
And you're proud of it too, right? Because it's a gorgeous website. And I think you got your copy like really nailed.
Thanks for
well, yes, I helped. So toot my own horn there.
I'm not going to take all the credit.
But yeah. So Ashley, do you have any, it doesn't have to be related to Set Up for Success, or do you have any like last minute nuggets of advice or wisdom to hand on to like pass down to other aspiring entrepreneurs, people who are looking at like starting their own business, leaving employment or whatever?
All I can say is just go for it. Like it's that saying, like the worst thing that could happen is it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So then you just move on. You know how many times things I've started up. I started a cake business at one point. I started a t-shirt pressing business at one point. And you know, my best advice is just keep going till you find what you're meant to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay to just, done is better than perfect, right? Like just go for it and get started. And if you change your mind, that's fine. You can. Yeah.
People get so discouraged when the things don't work out for them, and it sucks. But if you just keep trying, you're gonna find what you're made to do. Things happen for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for coming on the show and sharing your experience and your story with our listeners. I really hope it inspires anyone who's listening right now and it's kind of like on the fence about getting started, or you have started, but you're losing confidence because you don't know how to find clients.
Yes.
For anyone who's listening and thinking, I need Ashley in my life, where can they find you, get a hold of you?
I'm on Instagram, Dynamic Online Marketing. And yeah, that's how you get in touch.
We'll leave your links in the show notes.
Yes.
And if for anyone who's interested in taking the same program that Ashley did, it's actually evolved since Ashley took it. She was one of our beta participants and really helped inform the curriculum. And what we've done is we've actually turned it into a suite of offerings. So you can take just the website focused one, or just the email focused one, or just the one that's about nailing your niche, like figuring out your messaging, or just a social media one, or you can just take the whole thing as a really nice, like 1-to-1 6-month coaching package. So if you're interested in that, we'll leave the links in the show notes, but that's the new Setup for Success suite. And we're really excited to launch it and have more wonderful people like Ashley in the online business world.
Yes, love it. I really like the new program myself, actually.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you, everybody. And until next time.
Thanks for listening. If you're a fan of the Showing Up Solo podcast, you can show your support by liking, commenting, sharing, or leaving a review. Want to spend less time on your marketing and make better content? Head to showingupsolo.com to grab your free copy of our Full Circle Content Guide, the same time-saving method we use for creating our own content. Need more help getting your marketing in order? Learn how to build a marketing plan while working smarter, not harder. Our Setup for Success package gives you everything you need to create a marketing plan that is low maintenance, high impact, and perfect for generating consistent leads. Head to showingupsolo.com for more info. See you next episode.